Hello and welcome to the AI Summit London. My name is Ruth Duke. I have the absolute pleasure of being joined by Josh at Nebius. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
You were recently here on our main stage with the CEO of Higgsfield to talk about the significant moment at the intersection of AI and media. Can you tell us about that and how the role is at this moment?
Yeah, it's a really pivotal intersection that we are in. And when I was on the stage earlier this morning, I was talking about it takes a series of evolutions to reach a revolution. And we've now reached this revolution moment in filmmaking and the intersection of AI and filmmaking. So one of our customers and really a partner called Higgsfield just released the first full feature-length movie made exclusively with AI, and it debuted at Cannes this past year. So to great fanfare, you have filmmakers who have not touched AI, who looked at this and said, this is real, this has soul. And so it's a very fascinating moment in the history of filmmaking, and also what that means for AI and the intersection with media and entertainment. We have been collaborating with Higgsfield for some time now. They've been customers of ours since 2024. They're one of the most innovative companies in the world. And our team of machine learning engineers helped partner with them to bring this vision to life, to allow them to use their platform to create this first feature-length film. And it just debuted, and we were happy to talk to the audience today about that and what it means.
Excellent. And just give me a bit of light. Can you compare and contrast the production costs and timeline of a film that is made this way versus a traditional film? And what does that shift mean from the content creation industry?
So to draw the parallel, so this film was a sci-fi fantasy, 95 minutes long, traditional filmmaking that might cost around $50 million to make. And when you're talking about a film of that size and stature, the mechanics to get something like that made in the traditional Hollywood system is overwhelming and quite difficult. There are a lot of great scripts that never see the light of day because if it takes $50 million to produce something, that's a lot of money. And there are only so many films and so much budget that can be allocated to those films per year. So this movie, instead of costing $50 million to make, it costs $500,000. And traditionally, a movie like this would take 2 years at a minimum to go from script to screen. This is nuts. They made this movie in 2 weeks instead of 2 years. So you've got $50 million to $500,000, 1/100th of the cost. 2 years to 2 weeks, it's a 50th of the time, which are just incredible numbers to think about and what that means. What that means for creators and filmmakers, it is opening up a new level of capability for storytellers to take their visions, their fantasies, and actually turn them into realities. I was chatting with someone here at the summit yesterday. She's a creative director at an agency, and she had a fantasy of making a movie as a kid. She never thought it would be possible. Not only is it possible, she made her short film. It was also at a film festival a month ago. And so it's people like her story that I find inspiring, and what Higgsfield is doing through their platform, which is powered on Nebius B300 GPUs provided by NVIDIA in our data centers. They've been able to bring this vision to life. And so it's just the beginning of the filmmaking revolution that we're now in.
2 weeks turnaround is an extraordinary amount of time.
Yeah.
What kind of infrastructure does that take to produce a film within that time scale? Because traditional production companies, you're working from years for an idea to screen, as you said. Mm-hmm. What does it take to compress that into 2 weeks with this AI era?
The numbers are probably the headline when you think about that story. The amount of actual video generation. So I prompt something, I get a response. It's much more complex than that at this level of creation. But there were 100,000 unique video generations in that 2 week time. Each of those video generations is 15 seconds long. So to parse that down, that means about 7,000 video generations per day, which comes out to 5 generations per minute. Now, the part I don't quite understand is you have 5 generations per minute. Each of them is 15 seconds long. That means you're getting more than 60 seconds of video per minute. So you're creating more video than there are seconds of time in which that video was created. And what that means in terms of the amount of human beings who were involved and the editing process, it is transformational. Typically, you'd have editors who are looking at dailies of what was filmed that day, and that takes weeks and weeks and weeks and is incredibly laborious. Now take that and multiply that exponentially. And so it's a balance of AI to help human beings synthesize and turn that into the cohesive parts that make a great story. And you can't do that without AI. And it takes the most innovative platforms that are built in the most thoughtful ways to be able to make that possible.
And following on from this, are you seeing this level of AI-powered innovation anywhere else across the media industry?
Yes, this is definitely a exciting leading case, but there are other spaces where this level of innovation is creating new opportunity and new possibility. So you've got video like Higgsfield, which is transforming what you'll see in the advertising industry. The capability to, if you think about social media campaigns or marketing campaigns in general, you do a lot of planning and a lot of strategic work to decide what you're going to create and what you're going to shoot. And you have days on set to make that happen. Commercials are expensive, and there's a lot of effort that goes into producing a commercial shoot. Well, now with this technology, the amount of time that it takes an advertising agency or a brand to get signal on what's working is shrunk down because of social media. You put a campaign out there, and what performs well, before you said, okay, this is the material we shot, it exists, let's see what we can do with it. Maybe we can edit it in a different way. Now it's completely different. If something performs well, you just create 1,000 generations and derivatives of that thing that worked well, and you keep playing with those campaigns. So it's a way for advertising entities to deliver more of what is resonating with consumers. And that's really exciting on the video side. On the audio side, you've got companies who are... So the ability to create music, which is fascinating and interesting. I think the thing that actually excites me more right now is you have AI model providers that are able to look at video and then create the musical soundtrack that aligns perfectly with the video that it is watching. So if you think about what that means for VFX use cases or commercial shoots or content creators, just with so much of what we watch, there is an audio track playing in the background. We may not realize it because we're so used to it, but for the creator, it's a lot of work to get that right. So to customize that is pretty unique. The last thing, and probably the most maybe consequential in the long run, that is really exciting me right now, is this concept of a world model. Have you heard of a world model before?
Nope.
Okay. So the way I like to describe a world model is that, think of gravity. So we can do whatever we want in the world around us. Gravity always exists. We can't break the laws of gravity. We can kick down a chair and it'll fall over. We can clap our hands together. It'll make a sound. We can do whatever we want. The world's going to react to us. But gravity is always there. We can't break those rules. World models are similar, but in an AI environment. So what that means is there is a set of rules that govern what's possible. And then everything beyond that is dynamically reactive to what we do. So it's a new game engine. It is a new content creation engine where the way we experience it has infinite possibilities. So what that means for gaming and TV shows and also advertising, it's also heavily influential in robotics. And so world models are incredibly exciting, kind of the next frontier of where AI media is going. And we're at the beginning stages of that. So that's quite exciting as well.
Wow. So it's not just the storytelling that has now the limitless. It's you're creating the rules surrounding that.
That's right. That's right. Imagine a story of your own creation. I don't know, what is a show or a game or something you read or read to a kid? What's something that resonates for you?
just as a world building kind of thing, we're thinking Game of Thrones straight off the bat.
Perfect. So let's say you want to experience something with dragons and you want to experience in a medieval setting, or actually let's blow that up. Let's take dragons and let's take it into the year 2300 on Mars and see what happens. You would create the constructs of that world and you'd provide as much detail to create this rich environment of dragons on Mars in the year 2300. And then what happens in that world is completely dynamic to your interactions in that space that you have created. So what happens if you film that and you turn that into a show or you stream that with other people? What happens if you create a game environment, a micro game that allows people to experience this heavily crafted new gravity of dragons in 2300 on Mars and allow people who also find that motif interesting to participate in that world as well? So boundless possibilities around what that means. It does take companies like us, like Nebius, to be able to build out the infrastructure and the software layer in an effective foundational way for those most innovative experiences to exist. So I have a very, I'm fortunate to have a great job. I get to think about the leading edge of where this is going and how we become responsible partners and stewards to bring those innovative experiences to market.
Josh, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the wonderful insights you've just shared there as well. Thank you for watching. My name is Rujukid, and this has been the AI Summit London.